Hello, everybody. Happy hump day. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all today? Let's wait a couple of minutes to see how people are and what everyone's up to. Get a few things here ready. I have this card and that card, and where's the other card? I just had it. Oh, there it is. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Francie. Hi, Shirley. How are you guys? Pulling out some of my cards and getting warm. I am flabbergasted. I'm looking for a die everywhere and I can't find it. It's one of my most used die sets and I don't know where I put it. And that's driving me nuts. So, hi, Walter. How are you? Hi, Michelle. It's the tags die set. And I'm sure it's here, but I just don't know where it is. So, all righty. Well, I'm going to start by showing you some of the cards that I've made. Here's the first one I'm going to share. I shared this on the fan club group. Just a little bit. Hi, Melissa. This is from the die of the month, and I used the Fade Slimline Stencil from the No Day But Today release, and just had a fun card with that. I just kind of showing the sparkle. And then upcoming, I also have this one, which is one of the backgrounds I made showing the foiling technique with the pixie spray. And then I just kind of added on, some red to match the glasses and the Hello Sunshine. Thanks, Walter. So I think that was kind of fun. I added a ton of gems to this one. And then last night, I don't have it on a card base yet, but so it's a full, I played with this one last night. Nothing super fancy. This is one of the card panels, and I used the stencil to color it in, and then I used the circle staple stencil with the embossing ink and the succulent. And then, hi, Kelly. Thank you, thank you. And then my last but not least, the design team has seen this one. I should grab a card base so you can see it on the card base, because I haven't put it on there yet. I created this fun card with the Terrarium layering stencil. And this is the bee from the bottled blooms, and I made it into thanks, Melissa. I thought that was kind of a fun card. Into firelight flies. And then I used the glow in the dark embossing powder on this, and you won't be able to see, but because it glows, but you won't be able to see here. But when I show the photos, I'll post them tomorrow in the fan club group. You'll be able to see that the glow in the dark embossing powder glows. So I thought that was really fun. All right, so I'm going to put those aside and we're going to get to it. So hopefully we're going to get 2 cards done tonight. I did a little bit of prep ahead of time. I did a little bit of coloring. We're going to see how we go. I've got a little bit of stuff right here. We're going to do the easy card first, and then we'll get to the more difficult cards. So let's see, where's my pieces here? For my first card, we're going to go real simple. We're just going to use one of the pieces of pattern paper from the Terrarium. And thank you. The Heather cardstock to match. And I just used a circle from the doily die to cut out, which I had the doily die sitting here, but I cut them and we're just going to make a quick fun card with some peekaboos in it. And then we're going to add a sentiment and some fun. Hi, Lisa, how are you? So I'm going to just add a little bit of glue, of adhesive, kind of just around the edges. Like I said, this one's going to be kind of fast because I did pre-prep a little bit. Just because I wanted to do 2 cards just because I wanted to. So we've got that. And let me grab a card base. Here, let me actually switch so you guys can see my desktop better. And I'll turn off my face. Maybe. I might turn it back on. There we go. All right, so then we're gonna go ahead and put this on a card base. So my panel I cut down to 5 1/4 by 4, you know, so just a little shy so you can have the edges for the purple. You could have lots of fun with this. I saved the circles. Hi, Christopher, or yep, Christopher. How are you? I was just showing my card samples I made. And then I did have a graduation card I shared in the fan club group, but I gave it to my friend today. I wanted to create that one specifically for her. You're here. That's all right. Work on Scoozies. I was just talking about that. And like, can't wait to come visit and get lifted away in your last post there. So I know Christopher used the stamp of the month last night, but I stamped them out too. I've got some of them done because we're going to use them on 2 different cards. But I wanted to color one on camera. Just quick, fast coloring. So I'm excited for you to open Scoozies. And I need one of those peanut butter cups that I saw that Heather had. I have to have one of those. Like, there better be one in stock when I come in January or in July. Speaking of, buying my airline tickets tomorrow, you guys. I should have bought them a month and a half ago when they were cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. But I put it off just because last year I bought them in May, and so I'm buying them tomorrow. And I'm all excited. So all I'm going to do is use some of the tri lines. I love using them for just quick. You don't have to think about it. And I just added just a little bit of shading. This is a smaller, smaller. So you don't really have to do a lot of coloring and a lot of shading. But I thought just a little bit just to give it some interest. Hi, hello, Penny. So there is that one. I'm just going to grab a couple other quick colors. I don't even really remember what I all colored with them, but we're going to add the same colors. And then we will get going. I didn't want to color all night. So I hope everyone's having a good week. My dad is out of the hospital, but he is in a senior home. You know, he's got to get some therapy on his feet, for his feet. Sounds like I think he had a good day, so that was good. I talked to him yesterday and told him to make sure he's nice to the nurses, and if he wasn't listening and eating and doing his job, I would come up and kick his butt. So that's good. I think he's going to have more surgery, but he's got to heal from this last one first before he can have the next one. So that's good. And the weather is reacting here nice. We've had a couple cool days, you know, and today it's 74 again, so it's real nice, which I like. So that's good. It's 74 is like the perfect temperature in my opinion. So I'm just using one purple on the umbrella because it doesn't really matter. I don't even know why I'm coloring them because a couple of these we're going to cut off. So there we go. So just quick, fast coloring on these guys. Isn't it cute? And I use the coordinating dies to cut them out. So now what we're going to do for our little peekaboo card here, and you know what I just realized? Did you guys see what I did? I put it on upside down. Wasn't paying any attention. So we're going to cut it off, and I will fix that later. Yeah. Good thing we didn't have the whole thing put together. Thanks, Melissa. I'm glad to hear he's improving a little bit too. He's got a big, beautiful window to look out, and there's a lake right there, and he's about 20 to 40 minutes, depending on traffic, for my mom and my sister, so that's not too far. So we're going to do a little bit of fun with this. So I didn't quite line up my die. It shifted just a hair. Not that you can tell, but this is the one we're going to kind of tuck. We're just going to tuck these guys underneath. And we're just going to have some fun with them and cut them off. And we're just going to put them all in like this. I think that's the one I want to use on my other card. And just kind of have some fun with them like this. I don't necessarily know. Do we think we want to keep the umbrellas? Hi, Ellen. He got featured a lot today. And oh, this little guy did? Yes. I hadn't used him yet, and I was coloring him up, and I thought this would be fun to have him peekaboo. I don't know if we want to use you know, if we want to use the umbrella on all of them, I might just use the umbrella, but I just thought we're just going to have some fun having them peek out like this. And we're just going to stick them all in. And that's why I didn't add the other glue. So thought, you know, the dies of the month would be really fun with this. Because they have such, you could do all the little fun faces. You like the umbrellas? Okay, we'll leave them, Francie. I'll leave them just for you. So we're just going to do a little glue underneath. We will leave the umbrellas. And then I thought this guy was kind of fun. I just grabbed these circles. If I had thought about it, I might have cut different size circles. But I think what I want to do is I'm going to tuck this guy in, if I can get my finger under here now without ruining the card. And we're going to tuck him way over here to the side and just kind of have him hanging out right on the edge here. So then we're going to tuck this guy in and we're going to add a little bit of extra fun. And then we almost have this one done. The next card's going to take a little bit. I will put the measurements down below for my card, my other card tomorrow. I didn't want to give everything away beforehand, but I will give you the measurements as I'm working too. So I think we're going to put this guy like, let's get a little bit more of his thing out. So there we go. So we've got this little peekaboo card. I think it's kind of fun. He's kind of flying in a circle. And this is what I wasn't sure about, what card we wanted to do. I actually kind of was thinking about don't be afraid to practice self-reflection, just because I feel like this guy's having a topsy-turvy day and it kind of fits. Oh, the umbrella guys. Yeah, it's been fun to have all that. So I did stamp this guy out on perfect blend paper, like I always do, because it's my favorite for coloring. And do I have my mini? I have lost everything right now, guys. I guess not. So we'll get out the big guy. Oh, there's my mini. And we'll get the big guy out anyway. I like to use the mini when I do sentiments. So I am actually, it's been a busy week. Last week and a half, we've listed a few houses and sold a few houses and vases out versus laces out. So this is kind of a fun story. I had a young kid from my hometown who he did some punting, and then he was the long snapper for the Iowa Hawkeyes. He was a year older than my daughter, and his mom was my daughter's dance teacher. And so he played for all 4 years. Well, I mean, he redshirted and then he played for 4 years. And I told him one day when he was done playing, I would tell him. And that's what I used to yell at the screen. Every time he lined up for a field goal, I'd yell, "Laces out," and I'd yell his last name so that he made sure that he lined it up right. All right, now where is my sentiments? I'm losing everything, you guys, tonight. So we could have done this on purple, but I'm going to use the white because the white will match with the edges of our card base. So you guys all getting excited for the opening of Scoozies? I know last night Christopher started the subscription for the candy. Oh, Puppy must have decided he's got to come in. He was a good boy tonight. I took him for a walk. And they sprayed the park where we usually go for a walk for weeds. So I didn't want to take him through that tonight. And so I walked him up the street while his daddy was mowing the lawn because he doesn't like the lawnmower. And then we went down the street. And then at the corner where we usually either keep going or go into the park, I took him, we did a big square. So we did, a 4-block radius. And we came across the back way here towards the house, and a lady was up the street. She had her little grandbabies out, and these grandbabies were both under the age of 2. And she's like, "Can they come say hi?" And I said, "Of course they can. However, he might jump on them." Well, he was so good. He laid down. I mean, he sat there, he sniffed them a little bit, and he let them touch him, and he jumped up and down, excitingly, but not on them. And then he just laid down waiting. He didn't even want to leave. He was so excited. So I was so proud of him. So we're going to quick add this. Got to add some gems, and we basically have a card. Don't be afraid to practice self-reflection. I was so proud of him because I'm trying to work with him to not jump on people when we meet them. And he, so far, doesn't want to listen to his mommy. So, all right, we're going to add some sparkle. We're going to add some sparkle right here on the tip of each one of our little umbrellas. And we're going to grab, let's see, which ones do we want to use? I think I'm going to use, this is the hematite, I think is how it says. Yeah, Fletch was a good boy. I was proud of him. So, needless to say, Mommy shared some of her dinner with him because he was a good boy. But he doesn't like it when Mommy's inside and he's outside all the time. Especially if I don't come to the door when he barks. So. And I think he might have just escaped. Oh well. Because I didn't lock the door. Interesting. I don't know what happened. I gotta worry about it. There we go, you guys. So we got card number 1 done. Sorry, Francie, I didn't warn you. We got card number 1 done. It was quick and it was fast, but I thought this was just fun. Yeah, goggles on, Francie. So we're gonna put this one aside, and now this is the one that's gonna take a little bit more work. So I've got my little cheat sheet here with the measurements. I did kind of make a sample ahead of time. Like I said, I will give you the measurements tomorrow. I will get them all written down. So we are going to start with a card base. I mean, I pre-made something ahead of time, but we'll show you that in a minute. We're going to start with a regular old card base, 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score it just like normal. I mean, so you could just take a plain old card base. Okay, wait. In my head, I was thinking it was wrong for a second. It looked wrong. And then we're just going to score it like normal. It's at 4.25. Okay. This is cabbage. Yeah, it was. I thought that was, I wanted to do kind of a 2-for-1. A quick one. And then, because I wanted to use a little pattern paper, which we're going to use some more. But we're going to, but I wanted to do just a quick one. So this is that, like I said, it's a regular old card base, A2 card base. Now we're going to take the front and we're going to cut it 1.25 inches off. So you can do it one of 2 ways. You can line it up and do 1.25, or you could cut it off at 3 inches. But I'm just going to go ahead and do 1.25. Okay. Now this piece, I'm going to go ahead and change my directions a little bit. We're going to make a buckle card. You know, so we're going to make this little card right here. So this piece I want at 4.25. And 1. I think the puppy ran away. Bad Fletch, right? And then I'm going to score at 4 inches. So we just have a teeny tiny. So you could leave it at the 4 in a, 4.25 and then cut a 1/2 inch off, but we just need a teeny tiny place. I don't think so. The honey came in and got the leash and went running. So I don't know. He didn't ask me to come help. So this is our buckle. Okay. So this is the base of our card. Thank you. It's okay. If he asks, he asked. It's fine. Now, this piece of paper is a piece of the terrarium paper. I just took the pattern and I used the circle stencil, staple stencil. I did not check to see if this was in stock, so I apologize. And I used the new lime chroma mist, chroma glaze. Okay, this piece is 5.5. No, this piece is 5.25 by 3 7/8, I believe. three, nope, I changed it up a little bit. It's 3.5, 3 1/4. Did I screw this up? Uh-oh, we might be making a mistake here, but that's okay. So it's, I have, I want to cut it down to 2 3/4. So I'm going to cut this down to 2 3/4. And this, if I didn't do it right, what's the stencil? It's called Circles Staple. Hi, Tia. It's B, if it's in stock, it's BRU 8736. Okay. Hey, Tia. So yeah, I did. We did kind of make mistakes. So I guess I'm not going to use this piece of paper. No mistakes. Happy. We're going to make this another card. We'll grab a piece of paper. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to use that, but that's fine. We're just going to grab this piece and we're going to, I had this done ahead of time. That's why, it's live. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it down. This is directional. So I want to make sure. So when I have directional, only 4 left. Okay. When it's directional, I like to line it up so I make sure I'm cutting it the right way. I need it to be this long. So we're going to go to 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. So that's right there. Okay. And if it's close, that's close enough. This will still work perfect. And then we're going to shift it over to 2 3/4. And the reason I wanted to cut it like this is so that when I go to put them on, I have this piece, and then this, since it matches, will fit right like this. Isn't that perfect? So that's why I wanted to cut it like that, the weird total. Okay. So before we're going to go ahead and start adding some of this together before we do some of the other pieces. I want to make sure I get it all on. So we're going to attach this. There are so many ways to this now. I'm not going to say, I did not come up with this. I saw this in a video, a YouTube video, but I came up with my own measurements because I wanted to do it a little bit differently. I was confused by the measurements and what I written down, and I went and rewatched it, and I thought, nope, I'm changing it to match what I want it to be. Now, if you wanted to, did I do it again? I did it again. It did it again. Good thing I didn't push it down. If you wanted to mat it, you might want to cut it down a little bit more. But I'm going to use the green card base. Okay. I cannot get this on tonight. I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted because of what was going on with the pup. Okay, I'm a fixer, if you haven't figured that out. So now we need our little buckle piece. And I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue here. We're going to attach this. Now, we want to make sure it's up a little bit farther because we want to make sure our buckle piece that's going to hold it is going to not be on the end. So I'm going to put it up about right here. I mean, I'm not measuring, I'm just eyeballing. I may even cut a piece off because it's a little longer than I think I like, which is fine. I'm just going to put it there, and I'm going to put my tweezers on it and let it hold it for a few minutes. Okay. And the reason I wanted to put that piece on first is because we want to put our directional piece of paper over it to make sure that it covers our seam. Kind of. I mean, you wouldn't have to. You could put it on the back and then add a piece of panel on the back. But I thought this would be easier. So, and I'm going to butt it up all the way against the edge of the card so that there's a little bit of just a little bit edge showing. You could probably put it under the card a little bit, but like you could put it under here a little bit, but I'm going to just put it right up to the edge. Okay. So here's the basis of our card. Now, we're going to cut off. This is where you have your big choice of what you want to do. You can add a coordinating piece. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this piece, and we're going to use this as our cover. And then our belt buckle will use the same piece because this is the back side. So our buckle was 4 1/4 by 1 1/4. We scored it at 4. So then this will be 1 by 3 by 3 1/4. And the reason it's 3 1/4 is because of that, what we scored. And I want it to be an inch. This might be too small, but we'll try. It might work for us. I think it's going to work perfectly. Yes, it is. See? So we're going to go ahead and put that on here. Just kind of nice because we're using up all our scraps. Thank you. Like I said, I did not come up with this. I saw it online and I took the basic measurements and then I changed them to match what I wanted. I started making a sample and I think she used 2 or 3 different pattern papers. And I mean, we kind of are, but I'm using the ones that kind of went together. Okay, so here's this part. Now we need our buckle. So for our buckle, it should be 2.5 by 1 inch. And I want mine to match the same as these. The cabbage. So I'm going to cut this down. I'm actually just going to cut it down to my inch first because it only needs to be about an inch wide. We'll make sure, maybe we'll change this. Like I said, I'll write this all down in the instructions tomorrow. And then 2.5. Okay. And this is our little buckle. Now let's check and see. I really want to use this scrap. Look at that scrap matched perfectly. Now this is where you can change it. I can go back to this. I can go back to this. You can go back to, you can do however you want. I'm going to go ahead and use the purple. And then I want to go ahead and put this on before we put our buckle on. And I'm going to show you the reason why. She explained a little good reason why before we put our buckle on. So, okay. So we've got our buckle like this. Now, what she explained, like I said, the video I saw, she took her bone folder and she kind of just ran this around the edge and kind of softened up the fibers because we're going to be going in and out. And this kind of helps it keep it from really wrinkling because it's going to go in and out. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue. Now, you're probably not going to apply this a ton right away until your glue is really dry. And this is one of the reasons why you wanted this up a little bit higher, because if you go too low, your buckle would be off the edge of the card. So we are up a little higher, but I'm okay with that. Okay, so this is the basic of our card. And now that will just come out and you can open it up. You could put a piece of white paper in here for your message. This piece is just fine for me to write on because I would use a black pen. I'm going to very carefully squish this back in here. And this is where you get to have the fun. Now, this is where you get to just do whatever you want. I'm going to put this paper away here quick. And here's my little circles from our first card. I mean, I'm sure if you wanted a little extra, thank you, you could put a little foam tape to kind of raise that up if you wanted to. I didn't, but this is where you can have the fun. You can take this image and you can glue it directly on your buckle. You can, I haven't even thought of a sentiment. You could put a sentiment on, you know, something like this. And, you know, depending on the size, and put your sentiment straight on your buckle. This one's a little big for that, but what I thought I would do is we're going to cut one more little piece of cabbage out here. I think that one seems a little big. We're going to just do this little piece. We're going to put this little piece right here, and we're going to pop this guy right on it. And we're going to do another piece of cabbage. Okay, so let's take this piece of cabbage. I don't do a lot of fun folds, and I should, because they, like I said, they're fun, but I always kind of forget about them and don't do a lot. Thank you. You know, and I have some interactive dies. I never use them. I've gotten rid of a few over the last year or so, but I still have others, and I should use them, and I have plans to use them. I just don't. So when I was trying to think of what to do, I thought, let's make something more fun. I saw this a week or so ago and thought, I kind of want to make this on one of my lives. So, you know, there are lots of different things you could do. You could attach it to the buckle. you know, things like that. We're going to put it on our buckle. So I'm going to go ahead and put him on. I'm just going to glue a little bit right here in the center, just right here in the center. And we're just going to attach him right there. And actually, I think we're going to add our sentiment to this too, if I can find my stamp set. Because my desk is a mess. I try to throw everything in the box while I'm using it, but that doesn't always work. Okay, I'm not finding the stamp set. Let's pull my bin down. You see I didn't throw it in the front there. I did not. Shoot! I wanted to use the little sentiment from this set and put it right there, so I may have to finish that after, guys. I don't find it, so let's put this guy on here so I can stamp it in my MISTI. One last quick peek through my mess. There he is. I found it. See? It's under the die on the left. It was on my other table. I have a dream. Oh, you know what? I actually also had pulled this, but I think that's a little too big. In my opinion, I feel like that's a little too big to pull it in and out. So I am going to take this and we're going to put this here, but we're going to stamp it out quick. So yeah, I usually put things away, and last night I did not. I started swatching. I started swatching my new pastels because I hadn't had a chance to do that, and I had to print more swatches, and things just went away for me. So I thought this little stamp and this little die is perfect for this little square. So okay, I'm gonna put my cheaters on. Oops. I'm gonna stamp him out quick. All right, did I get it straight? It's straight enough. It's straight enough. All right. Yeah, my buckle would be too stuck. Yep, it would be. I did cut it out before I had my card put together just to be safe because I didn't want to have to use my big die cut machine tonight. All right, and like I said, this is a very gentle sentiment, so we don't want to push too hard, which, you know, I tend to do sometimes. And there we go. We've got that. We're going to glue this down. We're just going to add a little bit of glue right here. I'm going to stick this guy down right here, and we're going to add on just a few little gems, and I think we got a card. We're going to use that same ones. It is hilarious. I know. He's very prepared, wearing sunglasses and an umbrella. And you know what? I have a purple parasol. I got it when I was in China. It's not an umbrella. It would not work in the rain. It only works for the sun. Everyone uses them over there, and I loved it, and I still have it. And I use it every once in a while. Oh my gosh, I kind of tried to land. Okay, Francie, get your goggles on. And I'm gonna finish this up here. 2, 3, 5. All right, there we go. We still have 30 minutes. Oh my gosh, I was super fast. I didn't mean to be. Well, we can play with something. Is there something you guys want to see? We are super fast. All right, I'm gonna rearrange this a little bit. My finger, I just used my cloth there to wipe up the extra glue. Is there something you want me to play with quick? Anything? Throw it out there. You can give me a challenge, see if we can get one done. What would you like? I should do a poll and do a challenge and see if people for that. So right now we've got this card and we've got this card. So far with our little stamp of the month. Let's get our dies put away here so I don't lose those, since I've lost my other one. Should I use the with thorns? I can use the with thorns. We stamp that out. Any color? What color should we use? Let's see. Actually, let's use one of the pieces of pattern paper. One of the pattern paper. All right, we use the purple. Let's use the blue. I have not used the with Thorn. Yes, blue. Yep, we're going to do a little pastel-y color with this a little bit. We're going to use a pastel Chroma Glaze or embossing powder. We're going to stamp with some embossing powder. Hello, Donna. I kind of crafted a little fast tonight. I must have pre-prepped too much. So we're kind of just playing. All right. Here's the with Thorns. Now, this is a big stamp. So those of you, if you haven't played with big stamps, sometimes you can get a bubble when it sticks to your MISTI. So you kind of have to, sometimes you kind of have to pull it off. I don't know if you can see that, and kind of let it lay, especially in the middle there. And so you might want to check and make sure you don't really have, see, I have a bubble. It's kind of, I don't know if you can kind of see that. There's a bubble right here. It's hard to see. And that's an air bubble trapped underneath. So I just kind of pick it up and then I smooth it back down and it's gone. Okay. Yep. You have to burp it. Exactly. It's like Tupperware. I'm just going to wipe my hands on it since this is such a big stamp. I want to make sure it stays real good. Actually, grab one of my stick and stamp mats. If I've got one handy here, that's, where is one? There it is. Doo-doo-doo. I was trying to see if I need to clean it, it looks like. Let me clean it quick. So it sticks. Yep, burp, burp, burp. Okay. Just to give it a little extra added safety, I'm going to stick it down on my stick and stamp mat. This is bigger than my stick and stamp mat, but you know, this piece of paper is, but it works. All right, so we're going to stamp this down, and I think I want to use lemon drop. Okay. So I got to get it out because it's sitting right here. Lemon drop. It's kind of a bright color, but it is a pastel color. So, hi, Monica. How are you? Welcome, and thanks for joining us. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, we forgot almost the key. Anti-static powder tool. And make sure it's nice and fully, because we got a big stamp here. And then I'm going to ink this up. We're going to stamp it a couple of times just because I think I told you guys that last week. I left the lid off this just a little bit. It still has quite a bit of ink in it, but I want to make sure. I didn't re-ink it yet. And it's hard to see on this pattern paper. It's a little slick. From Texas. Oh, thank you for Francie. I heard you in my head. All right, I'm gonna use my little fill bug here. This is my version of a little press tool. A friend of mine's dad made them for us a few years ago. We got together when we couldn't go and see people. All right, I'm gonna kind of twist it. All right, I can see the image, so hopefully, oh, it looks like maybe up here. It looks like everything's there, so hopefully we're good. Now, before I shut this, let's put our stick mat back on the front, the middle of our stick and stamp mat. We're going to grab our well-loved piece of paper here and our lemon drop. And I just love embossing powder. Is like, I think I could use it all the time. Look at how beautiful that is. I think we're going to add it on just a little bit more because I kind of hit it kind of hard. So, And it looks like I have one spot that I must have moved my stamps. So we're going to go in and fix it. Nobody will have to be the wiser. Just a little bit right there. Okay. Here we go. Oh yes, nope, I'm okay with it not being completely stamped because we might cut it apart. We're going to cut it out and then we'll see what we do with it. I don't know what we're going to do with it yet. It's just a, I don't usually worry about it unless it wants to be the whole focal point. Because I call it the distressed look. It's a spot for embellishment. It's a spot for some splatter, all that good stuff. Yep, perfect and perfect. Yes, Donna, this is a great yellow. It's called Lemon Drop. Came out with our March release with the butterflies. I'll let you guys watch the magic. Perfect. Move from below. Oh, distressed in a sentence. Well, yay. Okay, so I will have to leave you for a minute because my die cut machine doesn't fit on camera, but I'm going to quick put this together. And I haven't die cut it out yet. Looks like it go. Ooh, did we miss a spot? We missed a spot. All right, that looks better. There we go. I'm going to twist it one more time. All right, we're going to call it good. If we missed a spot, we missed a spot. Yellow is not my favorite color. And I will tell you that I have a yellow piece of furniture, which my family can attest to, the yellow dry sink. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's an old dry sink. And it is bright, shiny yellow. It will probably stay yellow, but I am thinking of eventually, someday I want to sand it down and paint it a soft yellow, like a butter yellow, versus this bright, bright sunshine, woo, in your face yellow. And then both my kitchen and my dining room are yellow. They've been yellow since before we moved in, and I didn't paint them, and I just was too lazy to paint them. So I haven't painted them. All right, I'll be right back. Let me run this through. And we will get going. All righty. And just like that, we have our beautiful piece. Look at how beautiful that is. Fletch back asking for a friend. As far as I know, he is. Daddy came in and went back out, but he didn't say anything. So he didn't ask me for help. I'm guessing he just went into the neighbor's yard because the neighbor was home out. So I'm going to find out here very soon. Okay, so we've got that. We need something else. Let's try seeing if we can use this piece of paper that I cut, that I did. Ah, I like that. We need a card base. Let's see. How about a C-back card base? Oh, that's a little too much blue. I don't think I want that. What other color do we have here? Can I use a color that doesn't available? Do you guys care if I just grab a piece of paper? It's a really pretty color, but I won't tell you the name of it. I'll just grab this. It's just a mauve color. How does that sound? Kind of like a dark terracotta color. We're going to use this color. I think that's what I want. Okay, lunch bag. I was thinking about it, but lunch bag will be very similar to the Thank you. Okay. This is an old color that's not available. So I love it and I'm going to use it. We can find lots of colors that are very similar to it. It's kind of a reddy wine color. Okay. So you have a wine color would be a good name that you could call it. We'll call it wine. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, you guys. So we've got that. I think we've got this piece right here. We've got this on here. I think that I'm really liking how this is kind of ending up. We need a sentiment and we need to kind of figure out what else we want to do with it. So let's grab a card base and start there. Fruit salad. It's kind of like fruit salad, but a deep fruit salad. I am going to cut it down. You know what? We will use I think we're going to make a lunch bag card base. Let's cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And then we will use I know where you're going through with fruit salad. Let's find our lunch bag. I don't have any card bases made, but that will tie in nicely with that pattern paper that we have. Lunch bag is one of my favorites. I have saved all my lunch bag pieces. It's actually, I have my cardstock in rainbow order, but lunch bag stays, lunch bag and Raven are at the very front. All right, so I got a 4 1/2 or 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base, an A2 card base. We made that out of lunch bag. And we're going to stick our wine color down first. And then we're going to add a little bit more yellow in with our sentiments. Let's see. I'm going to center that. Oh, those colors look really good together. Wine and lunch bag. Sounds like a good combination to me. Guys think so? And then that will be perfect right up there. So like I said, this is a piece of the brown paper, or I guess, I don't know if that'd be the lunch bag color that's on the B side or A side. Is it the B side, this pattern? I don't remember. The opposite side of one this came from, because we could have done this even. That would be really pretty. But I want to use this because I made it. And that has the lime. When I was going to use it, I could have done the yellow, but because I made it last night. Oh yeah, you can hide the bottle really easy in this lunch bag. All right, so we're going to line this up right in the center. That looks perfect. And then we're going to put this big, beautiful yellow thing on here. And we're going to grab, if I can figure out where I put my foam tape. I bought some of the big foam tape, guys. There it is. I finally got some in. The Big Daddy roll of foam tape. I just gave you a good idea. Awesome. Can't wait to see it. That's one of my favorite things. It's funny how I don't always like to look when I'm going to create at some of the things created by the design team, not because, but because if I have an idea in my head and I see somebody else do almost the same thing, I feel bad. But I always look. I do always look. And then I just change my idea. And sometimes when I'm seeing one of your guys' somebody's ideas, like when we post ahead of time to our app, it gives me an idea of what I want to do with something. Like Walter, your card with the cowboy hat. I totally had been, when I know you had said something to me about using the cowboy hat, and I was like, I totally want to make a graduation card that way with the same thing. You know, it was kind of the same idea. I mean, you had the Western theme and I did the graduation theme, and so oh, yep, Fletch is back. He's outside whining. It's okay, Pup. You're just going to have to wait. All right. So I like that. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our sentiments. What I like about this with Thorn stamp set is that it's so pretty. You don't have to color it if you don't want to. Like if you're not a colorist, you can just heat emboss it. And you don't have to be intimidated by it. at all. Okay, they're all off. So I think we're going to do it this way just a little bit. So that nice big, I want the cactus on the top. So we got the Nepali cactuses here, and then like the mother-in-law type cactuses down there. And then we are going to cut off the edge because it won't fit in my A2 card base card, and that's fine. We'll go over here, we'll cut this little bit off, and that will make it look like it's supposed to be. Goes off the page a little bit, and now we need a sentiment. Love this color story. Sometimes I do too, Melissa. Not so much now, because usually I just kind of I did that a lot in the past. Now I try to just think of what I want to do and what do I want to use. How can I showcase it with something else that we just got or came out with? Now I will say I didn't quite center that all the way, so we're probably gonna see how you got a little bit of the color right there, but that's okay. Let's grab this stamp set. And we're gonna do You're Looking Sharp. I should send this to my dad. Tell him he's looking sharp. It's kind of a male looking kind of card, isn't it? All right. We're going to take it out of this. You can tell I was going to use this as a card base or card panel. You guys, I've never seen my desk look this messy before in my life. That's okay. We'll get it all cleaned up tonight. We're going to keep going because I might use this. Hi, I've been watching, but my parents called, so I was chatting. That's okay. Yeah, I understand. I do that sometimes too. I have, like, I'll be watching something, and then when Christopher comes live, I always like hold it up to my ear so I can listen while, like, last night we were watching Caitlin Clark and her first debut of the basketball game. And I wanted to watch that too. So I was watching the game and I was listening and watching, and you know, it happens, Christy. It's okay. You're forgiven. Oh my gosh, look at how crisp that is. It's so pretty. I know that Post-it has been there for a while. You know what, Francie? I've still been waiting to, that Post-it net has been there, and I know I promised to make one. And it's still on my list. It's just, I've been busy with all the other stuff that I've been creating. So it's my challenge. I don't have either of the stamps we talked about on that live. I put them in my cart a couple times, but then my cart, you know, went away, or I added other things, and I'm challenging myself to use something else instead. I've been toying with going live on my YouTube channel on Saturday mornings and calling it Stash Saturday and just grabbing something from my stash. Bye, Christy. And just using things from my stash. But I haven't had the time to do it yet. Awesome. Okay, look at that, guys. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness. Fletch, you're fine. He wants to come in, and now he's whining to go back outside because he came in. Daddy let him come in, which is fine. That is not the right one. I promise we're going to get a card. I don't make wedding cards. That's the thing. So I have to think about it, and I think about that a lot. It is perfect. Thank you. I am losing all of my washi tape. Oh, it's on my die. Okay, and then we're going to run this through. We're going to finish this off, and that would be I have been toying with it just because I want to start to use I want to use stuff, whatever it is. I want to challenge myself to grab things from my stash that I haven't used, or mix and match things, and I just haven't done it yet. I talk a good game, Melissa, but you know, when it comes right down to it, on Saturday, the last 2 weeks, I have spent Saturday taking the dog for a walk, and then we come home and I do a little bit. I did the last week, I planted flowers, and then I mowed the lawn, and then I took a shower, and then I took a nap, and then my honey was home. So that I had the good intentions. But he just mowed the lawn today, so I don't think I'm going to need to do that tomorrow or on Saturday. And I am going to recess this in. We're going to just put it right in the middle. You're looking sharp. I've been organizing on the weekends with new dye storage. I got these new pouches off Amazon that has, and for my more loved dyes and stamps, and that, you know, so that my other ones are ripping. And so I haven't done a lot of crafting on the weekend. So, all right, guys, well, I think we need some bling though, right? We're going to add some of the topaz. Got to poke Francie one more time to wake her up before we go. We're going to add I'm going to add them right in the middle on a couple of these dots that are, I'm just going to do 3, I think. Actually, we'll do 5. We'll do one here, and we'll do one here, right on the dots, because the dots are perfect. So. There we go. Sorry, I got a little quiet. All right. Take cover for a couple more seconds. 3 cards, you guys. 3 cards. That's what happens when you prep a little bit ahead of time. I don't know if I've ever made 3 cards on a live before. Not except ones that I cheated. I just Googled, Michelle. Amazon pouches. I can put the link for them, or I can send you the link. I just Googled Amazon pouches and I did 6x8. Stop 5 minutes. I have 4 minutes, Melissa. I did 6x8. These ones didn't come with the magnets. These were just plain ones. And they came in a 2-pack. I don't have the name in front of me. I'm sorry, because it didn't come with a packing slip. They were this size, and then they were smaller ones. I can tell you what they are. I thought these size is perfect for the dies of the month. I mean, look at how perfectly they fit in. And then these are just my regular old magnets that I always buy, just generic off Amazon. But I'll put a link. I'll find a link for them because they're just generic-y ones that I found. I wanted some specifically for my 6x8 stamp sets. And so I wanted the pouches, and I wanted the labels, the little slip inside. Now, I will tell you, if for some reason this starts falling off, I know someone who has stored them and they just cut the flap off because they don't want the flap, and they store all of them like this. But I want the flap on them. I will say the flap is easier when you don't have the dies there. So that's why the dies are behind, even though I'd rather have my stamp set so I can see it without the flap. So I'm slowly getting some. So I appreciate you guys joining me. I have a couple minutes left to show you the cards we made tonight. We made 3 cards. We made a little peekaboo card that was quick and easy because I did the die cutting ahead of time using the stamp of the month and the Terrarium pattern paper. Yep, yes, you can use the Velcro. And I buy the ones from Brutus Monroe that you get. They're little tiny ones that you can get. I don't have them right close right now because I use them for to attach my little range daubers to my ink storage. We made a buckle card. I will get the measurements in the description tomorrow when I can get a computer instead of my phone. Okay, we made this little buckle card, which is super fun. And then for a quick, fast card, just for Melissa, I threw a quick with Thorn's card together using the embossing powder. So remember the create your own ending challenge, the CYOE challenge is to use a pastel, at least one pastel color and one Brutus Monroe product. So if you use a pastel embossing powder or a pastel aqua pigment or a pastel chroma glaze, that would cover both. Can be any other kind. Thank you, Penny. Any kind of card you can have. It can be a birthday card, a thank you card. It doesn't have any kind of theme. You just need to use hashtag CYOE challenge in the when you post it in the fan club group so that I can see it and enter in to win. a $25 gift certificate to the store, random draw, so anyone can join. 2 projects. So I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Have a great